The truth is, we don't belong here in this place. Like everyone else, we want to get out of here as soon as possible.
One of the slogans that we have as a team is to never give up. And what gives us hope, despite, of course, many setbacks that we also have, is to see the change within the child, to see the happiness in a child, and to see the difference that we make in their life and in a family's life. Romania is still one of the poorest countries in the EU. We work among children because many of them live below the poverty line. In particular, Roma and disabled children are very affected. I founded Open Hands after I visited Romania in 2008 for the first time. There I saw the plight of the Roma, and we saw how the children have to live and how they have no childhood really, no safe place. So the Rainbow House in effect is a safe haven where the children can come and just be kids. Among the families that we work with, the people need hope. We bring hope and they need reliability, someone to count on and someone that returns after a first visit.
For example, these two families have been living on the streets. Now they live in an abandoned train station, and we hope they will soon get social housing where they can live properly. We visit them almost every day to see how they are doing.
When we first met, Christoph was 1 year old. We've been in contact ever since, so for 8 years now. Everything's going great. Christoph is already in the Rainbow House in the afternoons in the older group. His brother here is starting kindergarten soon too. I'm in the morning group with the little ones. Olga helps me with so many things. I couldn't get this much help anywhere else. Without Open Hands, we wouldn't have any support. I can even do laundry at the Rainbow House.
Many children that come to the Rainbow House know the feeling of hunger. They don't have the provision at home to receive regular meals. So we make sure that at the Rainbow House there's always enough and they're cared for. Many don't have a table and chair to sit at, so that was a first at the Rainbow House, to come to learn to eat with cutlery, for example, to have running water, to be able to wash, to have a fresh change of clothes. These are all points that the children learned at the Rainbow House and that they don't have at home. I see the biggest potential in the children when we work early with them, so early prevention, and when we're able to build a strong cooperation with the parents. Fabrika is a Roma settlement at the outskirts of town of Georgien. There's about 400 people that live there. This settlement has no sanitation or running water. There's only 2 water taps for 400 people, and these water taps are not always working. Just 1% of these 400 people have regular employment. About 20% are day laborers. And another 20% survive on begging in the streets. The streets are not paved, so in the winter they get very muddy and it's very hard to get there. There's rubbish lying in the streets because there's no rubbish collection. And as I already said, there's no sanitary facilities for the people to use bathrooms or toilets.
How many people live in this room?
Well, it's us with our children and my mother, so 9, sometimes 12. When my brother's children sleep here too. I feel sorry for them. He often works abroad. Then we look after them.
Sure, we want to get out of here as soon as possible. But that's impossible without work. There are no jobs for us.
Those families that make it out are usually very hardworking, patient and very determined. So we have one example of a family that now lives in a house that is owned by Open Hands. They renovated this house, they're looking after the yard, and this family is now moved on to the next stage. They're free of poverty and they have a different and better life for their children.
Since we moved in, the children have changed a lot. They treat each other much more kindly. They're also sick much less often. That's why I think the word hope best describes Open Hands.
Our work is very important because these Roma children lack basic necessities. They receive no support. Therefore, we want to support them so that they attend the right schools, receive the right medical care, and develop well in everyday life.
The Rainbow House provides sustainable help because we help long-term. We started in 2016 and the children that came through the door then are now teenagers and are still supported by Open Hands. Our work is done when we successfully enrolled these children in education, in work, and when they're able to lead happy and independent lives.
My hope is that our young people will grow into adults who stand up for others and fight against injustice, just as we do as a team.
So our long-term dream and hope for the future is that we gain a bigger Rainbow House and that we can expand the project, because the project is working, but we don't have enough space.
Love is my top priority. Many of the parents we support have never experienced it themselves. I want this to be different for their children someday.
Suceava is the capital of Suceava County in the northeast of Romania. It has around 106,000 inhabitants, but we work more on the outskirts and around Suceava and the villages where there's less infrastructure and higher poverty rates. We often find that many children with disabilities are not seen in society and don't exercise their rights. Often on home visits, for example, we find children that have disabilities and we educate the parents on their rights and we integrate these children into society.
Many families are overwhelmed by the problems they face. They are often unaware of the support services they are actually entitled to. Therefore, it is of great importance that we support the families.
On a practical level, that means integrate them into the healthcare system, make sure they get the health provision that the children need, access to therapists, access to good nutrition, access to clothing. We want to make them visible.
There are specialists, therapists and psychologists who can help your daughter become independent and take responsibility.
Thanks to the support of the Open Hands team, I believe we have already been able to change the fate of many children for the better.
Many of the children that we support at home visit one of our lighthouses in the afternoon. The Lighthouse is a preventative program that supports severely disadvantaged children, and we offer them an educational foundation. After their normal school time is finished, they come and receive a meal at Lighthouse, And then they do their homework there with our experienced staff. They also do workshops and take trips out into the city, to the cinema, for example, or the museums, or out into the nature for a barbecue. And we celebrate all their birthdays at Lighthouse as well. We look at the child holistically and try to address all the different parts in a child's life. For example, their background within the family. We support the family and the child at home, but also the child in education and within school. And we filter their potential and discover it first of all, so that they then can build on that potential and thrive. Many families we work with are trapped in this cycle of poverty for generations. They have had little to no schooling, never have the opportunity to pursue regular employment, remaining in poverty for many, many years. By educating the children, we give them a way out of this cycle of poverty.
The first family which I visited when I started to work like a volunteer in Open Hands, and I started to cry when I saw she and her children, how they live. And I say I have to do this work and to help the children. A good development have their children, a boy and a girl, which now can read, write. And also the mom is very involved in education of the children, sends the children to the school.
The manager of Lighthouse is a psychologist, and she runs a team of educated teachers who have a lot of experience within their field. These teachers then teach the children when they come to the program.
My mother left me when I was little, at 9 months old. Why? I'll only find out later. My father became ill at 39. He's paralyzed on his left side. He can't walk well, but he can talk, and do some things even though he can't walk. My grandmother and the whole family support me. I do my best, even though there are still problems sometimes.
Mai sunt unele chestiuni, probleme. Vin ca să fac temele.
I come here to do my homework and interact with my classmates.
Colegii mei și pentru a mă distra.
Have fun and learn educational things that I cannot learn at home.
Nu le pot face acasă.
Here I am encouraged to do my homework. We have a very smart teacher.
My hope for these kids in Lighthouse is that each child to finish the school and where is possible to go to the university or a high school or a school professional. The children take a hot meal in the Lighthouse, a break at outside activities and home learning. And craft activities, other activities like reading club, club mathematics, development personnel, how to behave in the society, painting workshops.
The long-term vision for Lighthouse is that it will multiply as a pilot project. We now have 2 lighthouses, and the vision is to multiply them because the project is working. In recent years, we've built a strong foundation in Romania with a team that is reliable and wants to move forward. We would like to build on this foundation, and to do that we need the finances to reach out to more children and to employ more people to help these children. A dream we have is to open a center for people with disabilities, for children as well as young adults with disabilities who have lived in care homes for many years. Getting those children out of there, help them discover their potential, but also working with small children with disabilities to work with them preventively, starting young so that they can live an independent life. What gives us hope is to see the change within the child, to see the happiness in a child, and to see the difference that we make in their life and in a family's life. I draw my strength from my team and to see their determination to move forward and to help as many children as good as possible. And I also draw strength from the supporters that we have. For example, the other day we got a larger donation from a lady that is herself in a wheelchair, and I know this lady isn't the wealthiest person, and she gave the little that she had to make a difference on the ground in Romania, and these people move me.